ramifications at both ends of the championship table.
Either Celtic or St Mirren in the Scottish Cup final. Here's Chris Mockery. He's got Henderson in the middle, and he's found him, and it's Ewan Henderson. Brilliant defending from Ashcroft. That's poor from Partick Thistle. And Airdrie, Dom Thomas gives the ball away. And here's Fraser Taylor, goes for goal. I think that strikes the post. It's not a bad ball from MacArthur. Here's Henderson. Now Dom Thomas. Airdrie have some space on the right hand side. McKinnon with a nice touch. Here's Chris Mockery. Has a goal, and it's a goal! Chris Mockery from the edge of the box. I said earlier, he's got fond memories against Partick Thistle, and he's found the net again here. So Airdrie need to be careful here. Another short corner. Kai Stephen back to Taylor, crosses it in, and it's come all the way through. And it's in. It's an own goal. Partick Thistle are level. And Thomas's pass cut out. MacArthur can only head it to Alex Samuel, who finds Tony Watt, and it's Aidan Fitzpatrick. Goal for Partick Thistle. And they come from behind inside 12 minutes of this second half. Thistle have it back again. And that's poor. Ewan Henderson now with Dom Thomas in support. He's got Barjonas down the left hand side. Finds Thomas. Cuts inside. That's a good effort. And it's tipped over the bar. Some pinball here. And the ball's been hooked up the line to Rico Diak. Diak finds Chalmers. And Chalmers sees his snapshot wide of the target. In the back of the net for Airdrie. Strap into the box. And the ball breaks from man. Here's Aaron Reid. Reid still on the ball. It's come out. It's a goal! And Airdrie have equalised on the cusp of full time. I think it's Lewis McGrattan at the back post.
Raith Rovers travelled to Gayfield hoping to keep their slender playoff hopes alive, but it was the home side who threatened first. The ball breaking to Scott Stewart at the edge of the area, with his powerful strike well beaten away by Rovers keeper Josh Ray. Raith have been in excellent form of late. The away side's first chance coming from a deep curling ball from Josh Mullen. Jack Hamilton's effort going close, but cannoning back off the far post. Hamilton was in the thick of things early on for Rovers. The former Arbroath striker getting another chance when a long throw was flicked his way. The acrobatic effort ambitious, but skewed off target. With the first half drawing to a close, the home team would strike the first blow. Tidy play in the middle of the park, opening up a half yard for Jacob McIntyre, with the 20-year-old strike low, hard, in the corner, and beyond Ray to open the scoring. Raith Rovers were on the hunt for an equaliser after the break. Combination play between substitutes Richard Chin and Andy Winter bringing about Rovers' next opening, with Chin's deflected effort well held by Aidan McAdams. But Rovers' task would become somewhat more difficult 7 minutes from time. The away side's attempts to build play from the back, leading to a short pass from Paul Hanlon, which put goalkeeper Ray under pressure. Finlay Marshall was on hand to close down, nick the ball, and score the simplest of his 12 league goals this season. There would be a moment of positivity for Rovers late in the day. The away team taking advantage of loose play from Arbroath, with substitute Chin bustling into the box and squaring for Kai Montague to tap home and reduce the arrears. Too little too late though, with Arbroath securing their spot in the promotion playoffs. Ross County began the weekend 3 points adrift of 9th place Airdrie at the bottom of the table, and they were almost behind in the opening moments against Ayr, with Marco Roos's deflected effort clipping the post. But it would be the Staggies to strike first in this one. Ayr keeper David Mitchell parrying the ball into the path of Ryan Duncan from a corner kick, with the first time strike sneaking through a crowd of bodies and into the net in the 4th minute. John Rankin's side would respond well to going behind. Ayr United committing bodies forward into the county box in search of an equaliser, with Liam Dick finding space, his effort requiring a deft touch from the toes of Trevor Carson. The woodwork would come to County's rescue for a second time from this corner kick, Kevin Holt's header cracking the crossbar. The Staggies would have a chance to double their lead from a deep free kick. Alex Iakovitti's touch setting up a keel right, with the defender snatching at the effort. And that missed chance would go punished by the away side at the tail end of the half. Defender Dick slipping the ball through to find the run of Anton Dowds, with the striker smashing home for parity heading into the break. Stuart Kettlewell's side know that every point is crucial if they are to remain a championship side next season. They went close to retaking the lead when a curling cross found the head of Connor Randall, whose effort was saved. But the Staggies would continue to pile on the pressure and eventually get their reward. Goal scorer Duncan turning provider with 20 minutes to go. His cross found the head of Iakovitti, who steered beyond Mitchell to make it 2-1. The majority of the second half chances fell the way of the home team, with Kieran Phillips having a gilt-edged opportunity to put the result beyond doubt late on, with Ayers Mitchell making a stellar save to keep it at 2-1. A huge win for Ross County though, the Staggies still fighting for championship safety. It was 7th versus 8th at Capello, with Queen's Park threatening first when Aidan Connolly set up Callum Smith, the attacker getting underneath the ball and spurning an excellent opportunity. The home side would also go close early on in Inverclyde, Curtis Main being presented with an opening, but the first time strike veering off target. It was a game littered with opportunities for both teams. This chance from a Queen's Park corner kick, requiring a goal line clearance to prevent the opening goal. Slick passing play from Morton would lead to a big chance for Michael Garrity, the talented attacker rolling his effort narrowly wide of the goal. Queen's Park stopper Callum Ferry was the star of the show in this encounter. He would come to the fore in this exchange, making an excellent double save, firstly denying Nathan Shaw and then recovering to keep out Garrity on the follow-up. Garrity was Morton's key attacking threat in the first period, the attacker again going close, this time heading over from close range. While Queen's Park's Smith would go close again in his own right, the striker though unable to nod home Connolly's clipped cross. And the fast-paced action showed no signs of slowing down after the break. Good hold-up play from Main, seeing Owen Moffat played in on goal, with the pacey attacker curling off target. Morton continued to put pressure on the Queen's Park goal. Cameron Blues this time, with the midfielder's strike testing the reflexes of Spider stopper Ferry. And Queen's Park were reduced to 10 men just shy of the hour mark. Scott Martin sent off for a second bookable offence. The home side were firmly in the ascendancy against Queen's Park's 10 men. Jackson Longridge with an effort which flashed across the face of goal, with no takers in Morton colours as it remained goalless. The pressure was relentless from the home team in the latter stages of the game, arguably the best chance of the match coming to Main just yards out from goal, with Ferry making an exceptional stop to keep the game scoreless. Morton's next crack at goal would come from Cammy Ballantyne, the defender trying his luck from range and rattling the woodwork, with the scoreline somehow remaining 0-0. Ian Wilson was the next to try his luck for Ian Murray's side, this strike a relatively simple gather for the Queen's Park stopper. But Ferry's next stop was far from simple, the Spiders number 1 producing one of the saves of the season to deny Morton from point blank range. And there would be one last big save from Ferry, this time parrying away a goal-bound header from Ballantyne. And in the dying moments, it looked as though Morton had won it. Ballantyne sending Capello into raptures with a back post finish, only for the goal to be ruled out for an offside, with it finishing goalless in one of the most thrilling 0-0s you're ever likely to see. Into League One now, where Thistle were aiming to strengthen their title bid at home to Kelty Hearts. The away side went close to taking a shock lead in the Highlands, an early corner kick leading to a headed chance for Jack Bryden, who was kept out by a block on the line. After a first half of few chances, things would pick up somewhat after the break. Kelty Hearts with more positive play, Luke McCarville's effort though a simple take for Ross Monroe. The home side would begin to threaten more on the hour mark. A strike at goal deflecting into the path of Adam McKinnon, who lined up his strike and forced an important save from Kyle Gourley. And from the resulting corner, Callie would hit the front. Paul Allen's delivery swirling into the area, with Kelty's Alex Ferguson getting the unfortunate, decisive touch. Kelty would have a chance to haul themselves back on level terms when a ball fell favourably for Bryden. His touch and strike not far away from finding the top corner. The Callie Jags would push to add to their advantage late in the day, but had to settle for 1-0 in the end. Scott Kelleher's side moving 3 points closer to clinching the title. Stenhousemuir travelled to the Balmoral Stadium, aiming for a win which would keep them in the thick of the title hunt in League One. But their trip north wasn't going to plan early on. Cove Rangers taking a shock lead in the 10th minute, with Chris Maguire keeping cool in the box to set up Adam Emsley, the attacker sweeping home for 1-0. Gary Naismith's side were determined to turn things around as quickly as possible. The Warriors going close to an equaliser, when Ross Meechan's cross found the head of Matty Aitken, with the striker nodding just off target. The Warriors were well on top in terms of chance creation despite being a goal down. Ross Taylor with good play to work the next shooting chance, only to be denied by excellent goalkeeping from Balint Demas. But the second half would see Cove Rangers strike again. Ryan Harrington's defence-splitting pass in the 56th minute sending Mitch Megginson through, with the veteran striker doing what he does best to make it 2-0. A long free kick from Gregor Buchanan would cause panic in the Cove Rangers box, with an attempted clearance almost bouncing inadvertently back into the net. With Stenhousemuir committing bodies forward late in the day, Paul Hartley's side would spring a counter-attack and break up the other end of the park. It was Emsley leading the charge for the home team, streaking forward and creating a huge chance. His ball finding David Egwabor, who nodded it over the top as it finished 2-0, with Stenhousemuir's title hopes taking a huge blow. High-flying Alloa welcomed an East Fife side currently flirting with the relegation playoff places to the Rex. The home side taking just 16 minutes to open the scoring, with Callum Waters providing an excellent touch and finish for 1-0. The Wasps were largely in control in the first half of this one, though clear-cut chances were limited. Curtis Roberts working a shooting chance in this exchange, with the strike an easy gather for Robbie Hemfrey. Things continued in a similar vein after the break, with most of the chances coming the way of the Wasps. This neat cross from Callum Adamson found Luke Donnelly, who had time to control but got the finish all wrong. But that previous miss was merely a sighter for the towering Alloa striker. Donnelly timing his run to perfection just beyond the hour mark to beat the offside trap, before keeping cool and tucking away a brilliant goal for 2-0. Alloa weren't settling for 2-0 though, and continued to push for a third. The Wasps with neat passing play to launch an assault on the East Fife goal, with Stephen Buchanan seeing a low drive drift just beyond the post. Alloa continuing to build momentum ahead of the playoffs. In what has been a tumultuous season for Accies, they headed to Angus in hopes of grabbing a win which would take them a step closer to safety, and they would open the scoring inside the opening 6 minutes, with Kyle McDonald slamming home Kevin O'Hara's layoff. Darry McKinnon's team would soon have a chance to double their lead. Stuart McKinstry whipping across onto the head of Ollie Shaw, with Montrose keeper Cammy Gill keeping him at bay with an outstanding save. while Aki's keeper Josh Lane would soon have work to do at the other end. Montrose with neat play to work the ball to Taylor Sutherland, who was unable to beat the keeper. Montrose would soon have more than just the goalkeeper to worry about. Andrew Steeves seeing a header crack the crossbar. Sutherland seeing a similar effort suffer the same fate shortly after. Accies were back on the front foot after the break. The away team pushing for a second goal through McKinstry, with the winger on the front foot, twisting, turning and going for goal, only for Gill to make a smart save. There would be a head-in-hands moment for Montrose defender Aidan Quinn, the defender nodding over from close range. Aki's next opening would come through tidy passing play down the left, with goalscorer McDonald hanging in a cross. That ball was met by the on-running Xander Hutton, who put the result beyond doubt with 9 minutes left to play. Aki's making it back-to-back wins in their fight for League One survival. Peterhead needed a win against Queen of the South if they were to keep their playoff hopes alive. Defender Josh Kerr with the game's first effort at goal, one which was matched by goalkeeper Jamie Snedden. A clever ball from Craig McGuffey would bring about the Blue Toons' next opening. Kieran Shanks with great control, but a wayward finish in the end. Veteran winger Niall McGinn would go close to a moment of magic at Balmoor. The former Aberdeen man almost rolling back the years with a trademark goal, only for Snedden to get a crucial touch. But McGinn would have his moment in the second half. A floated free kick seeing Jason Brown tussle with Brennan Dickinson, with Brown's cross finding the run of McGinn, who headed home for 1-0 on 78 minutes. In a game of few chances, Queen of the South would send bodies forward for a long throw with just a couple of minutes left to play. The ball being swung in by a cross to the back post, with Matty Douglas on hand to power home a dramatic equaliser. One which secures Queen of the South's place in the playoffs and ends Peterhead's promotion hopes. Relegation playoffs in the coming weeks.
Baldy. Robertson skirts by Lyon. And again chops in on that left foot, finds Leach. Oh, but a great stop. Spence. Lovely threaded ball for Young. Across goal, Baldy! And finally, there's the breakthrough for Kilbride. Casper Kitchen wins it off Sean Fagan. First chance for Edinburgh here. Daramola into the hands of Hepburn. Spence. Robertson. Thinks it through to McCluckie. And how is that not ended up in the back of the net? Hamilton. Lovely through ball to McCluckie and Connor Young! And there it is! K. Robertson. Young. John Robertson! And what a finish! For his 31st goal of the season! Out to McGregor. Now Robertson. Is he looking to recreate the third? This time finds Fagan. Whipped in. Foster. Back to Keir Foster. Lovely chop inside. Puts it in for Young. Young just can't find the final touch, but Baldy does! And it's his second and 7th of the season.
Spartans travelled to Gallagherbank, aiming to turn up the heat in the League 2 title race. Top scorer Mark Stow with neat feet to work a shooting opportunity. The strike drifting narrowly wide of the mark. And how about this for a chance to open the scoring? Ayrton Sonker's flick on bouncing right in front of Stow, who somehow couldn't steer it home. Spartans were well on top at Gallowbank and continued to pepper the Annan goal. Jordan Tapping striding out of defence and trying his luck, with the strike inches away from picking out the top corner. And it was more positive play from the defender which brought about Spartans' next chance. Tapping being filled by Aidan Smith and winning a free kick out wide. And having won the free kick, Tapping was on hand to finish it off. His header picking out the top corner to give Spartans a richly deserved lead just before the break. Spartans' siege on the Annan goal showed no signs of stopping after the interval. Strong hands from Charlie Albinson required to keep out this shot from Stow. Annan's chances were limited, but they would have a golden opportunity to equalise, with Tommy Goss heading wide from inside the box. Late in the day, the away team would pile on the pressure and win a corner kick. The ball being swung into the box, with Albinson unable to hold it. Mark McNulty taking full advantage to make it 2-0 4 minutes from time. Annan continued to plug away in hopes of grabbing a late goal. One last chance would come the way of attacker Smith, whose diving header went wide of the goal as Spartans picked up a huge win in the title race.
I said earlier on, it's just when Clyde get the ball, you know, it's just everybody back.
Yeah, Clyde need to take their time, find the passes.
Like that.
Oh, lovely pass. Robson plays it into Williamson, he's onside. What can he do? Gets it back to Redfern, who's got a chance for the first goal. And it's just wide, but lovely build-up play from Clyde. Robson into Williamson. Redfern got out his feet. Just wide, still 0-0. Durnan tries a long one. Fleming steps up and wins it. Oh, and it's a mistake from Durnan. Scott Williamson's through. Scotty Williamson puts it into the far corner. And he runs to the fans to celebrate. Redfern battling against the Dumbarton defender, but Connell picks it up. Good play from Redfern, he's done that all season. Tommy Robson now on the overlap, how's the delivery? It's good! Oh. Andy Murdoch at the front post, he's a man that you wouldn't expect. It's well defended, but Smith's touch allows Redfern to get back. Ali Omar now, who hasn't really been playing at centre half, he's been coming down the left-hand side as well, and that's a terrible pass by Smith through to Williamson, who goes past his keeper and makes them look very silly indeed. It's Clyde 2, Dumbarton 0. Lovely touch inside from Roy, equally good cut back to Livingston. Oh, it's an absolute sitter for McIntosh, a man who's put so many goals past opposition keepers this season.
And up the left it goes from Reid. Now that's still in the middle. Darren Lang's onto that. And that's a free kick right on the edge of the box.
Great bit for it. Looks a perfect bit for Quigg, right?
Aaron Quigg with the free kick. And that swings inches wide of the near post, Brian.
Oh, good.
Quickly taken to Quigg by PJ Cole. Aaron Quigg. And we'll take the corner.
Yeah.
McManus with the corner.
That's better.
There's a bit of oomph on that one.
Oh, a save.
Off the line.
Oh,
and off the post. Linus up the line. Oh, and never let that go there. And Wilson's in. Needs help here, Sutherland. Danger here, it's a goal. Oh,
should have been a goal.
That should have been scored at the far post. And is Lyndon Tass hurt here? Shepherd gets it back into the path. Haddo here is Slater. A wee bit of space. Now that's a goal.
It is a goal.
Sutherland scores. And the defence was carved open there, Brian.
I don't know what happened there at all.
Yeah.
He was allowed to get the cross.
61st minute.
Yeah.
Sutherland scores. A set piece, Brian. I think it's our best opportunity at the moment because we're too far back in the game, really. As the Seagulls wheel, and it goes. And Darren Lang is off the line by Blair Alston.
And again.
On Ronan Hughes on Linus. Linus is forcing him wider and wider. And it just ain't happening. That is full time. And Stranraer's season is far from over, Brian, but it's a dangerous slithering, into a kind of disappointment.